This is Keith, and Keith's brother is part of a massive international cow crime syndicate. Keith's life is in very real danger, and according to the cow mafia, if you don't save him, yours is too. Keith is simultaneously one of the most powerful cows on earth, being the founder and CEO of a large grass manufacturing company shipping all over the world to hungry cows and babies. But there's just one problem. Keith lives in Polish land, and there's been word of a plan to assassinate him on behalf of the president and CEO of John's Two-Step Guide for Getting Girls for Cows for Seniors, 2018 edition. He has so much power, and he's already tried to firebomb his house. It didn't work. Keith spat out the flames and put it out. But he's still dangerous. Nobody knows his whereabouts or what he'll do next, let alone when. So, you have to get a plane ticket to fly all the way to Polish land and stop Johnny in his tracks. Can you do it? Find out next time on Sunrise. You have no money. You're broke. Your net worth is less than a homeless man's because he can trade the empty soda can he begs with for a 10-cent refund at his local containers for cash. You have nothing, and that's unfortunate. So you swim to Egypt. You swim through Greenland. You swim around Brazil and swim over a sea mine which conveniently launches you all the way to Polish land. Great job! Congratulations. You have a skull and back injury and should not move to avoid permanent damage. So you wait, and wait, and wait, but no one comes. Luckily, you have your emergency marmalade sandwich under your hat that every wise bear stores for safekeepings. You eat it, but it was poisoned, and now you only have 2 days left to live. Whoopsie-daisy, you need urgent medical attention. But you can't give up now, you're so close to saving Keith. So you suck it up, crack it back into place to avoid full body paralysis, and set off into the sunset on the hiking journey of a lifetime. After 11 hours of endless walking, you find the yellow house, the White House of Johnny's Books Publishing. Keith must be in there, held captive by him. You have to intervene. So you whip out the bazooka from the Ziploc bag in your pocket and shoot a ballistic missile at the window. Perfect aim! It smashes. You crawl up the brick wall, using the crevices in between the bricks as hand and footrests, all the way up to the 11th story, where the smashed window is located. It's windy and the air is thin, but you keep pushing on, eventually reaching the window. You climb up through, careful not to step on any grass, and in the distance you see him. Keith is in the distance, pitching his new type of grass to an investor none other than Johnny. You're careful not to make any noise as you creep over. They're facing the other direction as you slide across the floorboards towards them. You slowly bring your bazooka back out, but it's out of ammo. You stand slowly behind Johnny, who is looking ahead at Keith's presentation. You slowly lift the bazooka above your head and bring it down with impact on Johnny. He's knocked unconscious as you flee the scene of the crime. You throw the bazooka out the window, quickly grab a fire extinguisher off the wall, sprint towards the opening as fast as you can, and jump out, shooting the fire putter out of foam from the extinguisher like a jetpack flying away. You manage to save Keith's life. But that's not all. While you may have been able to avoid being set in cement by the mafia, you've still been poisoned and could face criminal charges for taking away Johnny's life without his permission. That's a serious offense, I'll have you know. So what do? You fly your fire extinguisher off in a different direction using your phone's GPS to navigate to a novelty shop. You'll have to get a disguise. You arrive, dismount your mode of transport, and enter the store with a posture similar to that of someone with over 80 million power in Rise of Kingdoms. I'll take this spatula, thanks, you say to the cashier, picking up the luxury item from its shelf. That'll be $4.99, thanks. She smiles at you. Golly gosh darn, you don't have any money. You'll have to steal it. You take the now empty Ziploc bag from your pocket and pull it over the cashier's face. Don't worry, she can still breathe. It's just a distraction. You run out of the store and jump on your getaway, setting off towards the hospital. Stop that thief! She yells, pointing to you as you zoom off into the distance. Finally, you arrive at a health institution. Perfect! It's a dentistry. You eat your GPS for sustenance. It must be broken. It sent me to the wrong place, you think. You start relying on your own instincts to direct you. You've been searching until sunset, and you're getting tired. It's been a long day. You fall asleep on your fire extinguisher midair, and it continues to fly while you sleep. You wake up in a dumpster, engulfed by nothing but lemons. You get up and turn around to inspect the situation. Literally, the only thing in the dumpster is lemons. It's a bit strange, but you don't think anything of it because it has absolutely no significance in the story. You must have fallen off your homemade jetpack whilst unconscious. Happens to me all the time. You check your watch. You've only got a day until you die from the poison. You start a leisurely stroll down the road, thinking about what a great life it's been. Shame it's about to end in 23 hours. It's been a good run. Then you have a brainwave. You turn to your left and start sprinting. You reach the highway. You keep running. You reach the plains. You keep running. Until eventually, you reach glory. The airport. You burst through the doors and book a last-minute flight to Russia to meet up with the Cow Mafia. You don't have any money, so you pawn your watch, conveniently a Rolex, for a ticket. Your flight leaves in 3 hours, and with nothing else to do, you fall asleep. Waking up on the opposite side of the airport 5 minutes before your plane leaves is not ideal. You didn't set an alarm because you traded your watch for a ticket and ended up nearly missing your flight. Luckily, you spot a fire extinguisher on the wall next to you. You take it off, unplug the pin, realize it's a grenade, panic, get blasted by the explosion in the direction of your flight, and just make it through the door while closing the gate. You stumble into the plane, onto a seat, and before you know it, you're on your way to the annual cheese festival in Moscow for reasons other than the cheese. What seems like no time later, you arrive and land in the new country. You get off the plane and run off the premises, trying to find a hospital. You've seen the time at the airport. You only have 5 hours to live. After what feels like ages, your legs start to burn and you can hardly breathe. You've been running for miles. You're still on the highway and decide to hitch a ride. After half an hour of unsuccessful hitchhiking, you give up and jump onto the hood of a car, shattering the windscreen into pieces. The driver screams as you climb in and is swerving all over the road in an attempt to shake you off. You headbutt the driver, rendering them concussed. They're dazed and eventually faint as you take control of the wheel. Their foot's still on the pedal, and you're slowly accelerating. 100 kilometers an hour, 150 kilometers an hour, 200 kilometers an hour. The speedometer just keeps scanning up and up. You unbuckle the seatbelt, open the door, push the unconscious driver out. You quickly hop into the seat and take control of the vehicle. You check the time. You've only got an hour or so left. You realize there's no time for speed limits as you charge 300 kilometers an hour onto a ramp, jumping high, managing to skip half the road and make it onto an exit. You're on your way out to a fully functioning city with institutions, but time is running out as you run into construction workers. It's been 10 minutes. The fluorescent shirt guy still hasn't turned the sign, so you accelerate. You run him over and drive through the half-dug-up road until you escape the horrors you've just experienced. There's another problem now. You've got 2 police on your tail. They're catching up now as you continue to speed faster and faster, but it's no use. They're faster than you. So you brake. Suddenly, the 2 cop cars behind you crash into your trunk and total. You accelerate yet again, trying to outrun the other services that might come after you. In desperation, you decide you have to switch vehicles. Opening the door on your side, you reach out to a car on the lane over and open that door. You jump out and into the other seat before the driver punches you in the face. You retaliate, and the back of his head smashes into the car window. You take over his car and shut the door, same as you did before. With your new ride, the police won't recognize your license plate, and you can get away. After a few more minutes, you arrive at the emergency room. You feel your heartbeat. It's slow and weak, erratic too. You feel your forehead. It's hot. Your carotid pulse might as well not exist. You can't feel it. You're nauseous, feel weak and tired. You feel cold. As you're walking into the ER, you collapse suddenly, losing consciousness.